Hey Writer Rebels, not my typical Thursday video, but sometimes these things happen. However, stick around and check out my goals for March and how I did in February. Hey everyone, it's me, Scarlett Kol, young adult author, YouTuber, and storyteller, and welcome back to my channel. I would like to start out by letting you know that this book is killing me. So, obviously this is not my typical video on a Thursday. I usually like to keep my author life stuff away from my Thursday videos. My Thursday videos tend to be more on the writing and publishing side of things, more in theory and general types of stuff. However, like I said, this book is killing me. I have been working on it so hard and so long. It is definitely not coming together like a 2020 Taylor Swift album. Like, this book will be the death of me. However, I have been working super duper hard on it this week and over the last couple of months, and I think I'm so close to being done. Like, so close to the point that when this video drops, I am hoping that it's already going to be sent off to my copy editor and proofreader, and that it is going to be out of my hands. So fingers crossed for that. I only have a few more chapters to tweak. I just need to do the read through. I am so close to being done. There are so many things, and I'll be hopefully releasing my vlog this weekend where I'll talk a little bit more about this process. But it has been a slog with this book. There are some references to Macbeth, and if you know anything about theater, Macbeth is referred to as a cursed play. Rumor has it that Shakespeare put actual witches' spells in the play, and they cursed the play so that anybody who even references the name will therefore be cursed. So if you know anything about the theater, they often refer to it just as the Scottish play, and I feel like I possibly got this curse onto my book, but I am almost there, and it's been something that I've been working on for a really long time. It's actually a really old book that I had started before I was even published, and maybe that's part of the problem. I do have some notes that I've been keeping about why this book has been so particularly stressful and so particularly hard for me. So maybe I'll come up with a video for that in the future. So obviously, if we're taking a look at my February goals, one of my goals was to get this book up on pre-order, and I didn't want it up on pre-order until it was done. So clearly that did not happen. However, I did definitely make some headway, and like I said, I'm hoping that by the time this video drops, this book is going to be off to my copy editor and proofreader. That being said, it's definitely going to happen for March because honestly, this book has been edited before, and the first, I guess, 50,000 words or so are pretty solid. So I was not even working on those things. I had put my edits through for that, but I didn't make any major changes. What I had to make changes to was basically that last 35 or so K that needed to change because I made some plot changes, and it just upheaval for everything. So it's really, the copy edits and stuff are going to focus on that area, and then proofreading. So I'm not expecting a lot of changes when I get it back. It's going to be smaller grammatical things and read-throughs and stuff like that, and those I know I can get done. So we will talk about more of that when we get to my March goals, but for right now, let's recap February. So for February, I had the goal of finishing this book. Obviously it didn't happen, but these things do happen, and almost there. So fingers crossed this is going to happen. I know it's been my goal for the last 2 months, and you guys out there are probably going, yeah, she's never going to finish this book. Well, it's going to happen, and when you see my March recap, April goals, you are going to see that this book is done. So that did not happen. My second goal was to read the fairy tales for my next Faraway High fairy tale book and do the outlining for that. And start the outlining, not to finish the outlining. So I actually did do that. I read the fairy tales one night. I was, looking for something to read, didn't want to get into a new book. So I started reading the fairy tales as research for this book. And I have started putting things together. By reading those fairy tales, it started, working things for the outline. So I have actually started outlining the book. It's not completely done. I definitely need to jump in and do more of that. But I do have a starting off point. So when this book is finally laid to bed, I will be able to start into the next one and get moving on that. So hopefully that's going to be positive. My other goal was about social media. So social media was kind of a mixed bag this month. I was hoping to do a lot of the things that I had learned in my brand audit, and if you've seen my brand audit video, I talked about some of those things as well, but I didn't get through as much as I would have liked to. I did post on my Instagram on my regular schedule that I wanted to, but sometimes it was last minute instead of being planned ahead. I also did not post as much on TikTok. So TikTok was a kind of good and bad month because I did hit 1,000 followers on TikTok, which is great. So I do want to be able to do the live streams and all that kind of fun stuff. However, because of that and because I was super duper busy, one of the things that did fall off was TikTok because it was easy for me to not do that. And that isn't the way that I really want to run that account. So I will be picking that back up in March. I might not be posting every single day or several times a day like I was doing before, but I do want to be posting at least 3 to 5 times a week so that I'm still engaging my audience. So I will get into that a little bit further as well. So overall, I did make headway towards some of my goals. I did hit the read the fairy tales and start outlining goals. So that's a positive. And I did make headway on this book, which was the major goal. Social media, like I said, kind of a little bit in between, but I needed to sacrifice something to be able to get through the book stuff that I was doing. It was also really stressful with work. I'm coming into my year end for my job. I am an accountant, so year end is very, very important. We have a year end audit that needs to be taken care of. So I will be getting into that, and it's actually probably going to be the worst in April. So I have a lot of stuff that I do want to get finished in March, so that April is basically just going to be a lot of writing and just working on projects when I get the time, because I'm not really sure what my time is going to look like. If things go well, then I'm going to have a ton of time. However, if things go badly, I'm going to be working a lot of overtime. So I really don't want to be in the position to set myself up for failure. All right, but we are in a brand new month and a brand new start. So we are going to start out with our March goals. I have a lot of goals for March, but they're all really things that I can definitely tackle. I have a lot of things in my personal life that I need to take care of. I have a lot of taxes and things that I need to do for people, but I'm hoping that with this book going to the editor, that this coming weekend, I'm just going to take a break from writing and get all that stuff done. I'm going to clean my bathroom. I'm going to get on top of those things that have suffered in my personal life from me working on this book. So I'm hoping to get all of those taxes done. I'm hoping to get some cleaning done, get some personal paperwork things done, and other things around the house, spend some time with family, and just, take that little bit of a break before I jump right in. However, a lot of the goals that I do have for my writing business aren't necessarily writing, and they're very fun, and I'm looking forward to them. So I don't think they're going to take up as much time. Plus, they don't take up as much time as writing a book on its own. So obviously, the first goal is this book. It is going to be up on pre-order. Like I said, it has been taking me forever to write this book. For instance, I was working on a particular scene that, it was like a 1.5 pages of scene, and it took me 6 hours. Like, I started working on it. Yes, I took a snack, took the dog out, but essentially it took me 6 hours to write this 1.5 pages. That is not normal. And I know I was struggling with this book, but hopefully that's going to be the end of it, and going forward I'm going to be so much better off. So this book needs to be put to bed. It needs to go out for pre-order. It needs to be out in the world, and it needs to be off my plate. So that is going to happen, 100% guaranteed. So when I get my proofreads and copy edits back, I'm not expecting to make a huge amount of changes, like I said. So there will be the proofread that's going to take several days depending on when I get it back. If it's over a weekend, I might be able to get through it a little bit faster. And then I'm going to need to format, and I do format my own books, and I use Vellum, so it is pretty quick. Plus, I just really love formatting. It's lots of fun. So I will basically throw myself into that, and I will get it done probably relatively quickly, just because I really like to do it and it's really fun. Speaking of formatting, my next goal is the mistletoe mistake. So I put out a story in an anthology back in October of last year, and that anthology has now come down. So I'm going to be releasing that book on its own as a standalone novella. I'm only going to be putting it up on Amazon for the time being, and I'm going to put it into Kindle Unlimited. And I'm sure a lot of people are out there going, but wait, you said you're a wide author. I am a wide author. However, I really don't want to launch this book until closer towards the holiday, because it is a Christmas book. I'm thinking that I really want to do the paperback and the big launch and everything around October again this year. So I am just going to put it up on Amazon for the time being, because what's it doing sitting on my hard drive? I haven't bought the paperback wrap yet. So at least if I put it up on Amazon, it's been in Kindle Unlimited for the entire time that it's been out. So those readers do have access to it, and it isn't my normal genre. If it was my normal genre and it was my young adult stuff that I normally write, it is sweet romance, so anybody who reads my young adult could read this, but it's contemporary, which I don't typically write, and it's not young adult, which is not something I typically write either. So I'm not catering to that same audience, so it is really like, even though it has my same name on it, it's like a different author brand. So I'm going to start it out there. It is eventually going to go wide, probably closer to the holiday, but sitting on my hard drive isn't doing me any good. So if I can get it out there, get a couple of sales, get a few page reads, then when it comes time for me to get the paperback wrap and do the big launch, then maybe I will have started earning back on that book already. So that's a decision that I made. Maybe after the first Kindle Unlimited term, which is only 3 months, I might change my mind. Maybe I will keep it in for 2 terms. We'll see how that goes. But I do need to do the formatting on that. It shouldn't take very long because I did format the anthology as well. So the nice thing about Vellum is you can actually transfer like that part into another book. So I don't really need to format the pages and go through it in detail. I still go through everything just to make sure everything is at top notch, but it won't take me as long. So I do want to change up some of the ornamentals and things because obviously that style was for that anthology and I want to do something different for my book and that matches my cover and all that stuff. So I will be doing that, but I don't think that's going to take me probably longer than a day. I just need some time to focus on it and then I'll be good to go. But I do want to get that up in March because hopefully I'm going to be having a book release coming out for the book that I'm working on. So then this way it's going to space them out a little bit. Not like it matters, like I said, 2 totally different brands. The next thing I want to do is related to my social media. I'm doing something called a Bookstagram Reels challenge. So I'm going to be posting on Bookstagram Reels every single day, and it's with another group of like authors and Bookstagrammers out there. So if you do want to check that out, you can check out my Instagram page. And I want to do my first TikTok live. Now that I have 1,000 followers, I can now do lives. So I do want to try that out and see how that goes. I want to get back to posting a little bit more regularly, so hopefully that's going to work out too. And then I do want to try my first live and see how it goes. The next thing I have is, so I have this super secret project that I've been working on, and honestly, I could launch this at any point. I just need to have time to put it together. So there's nothing that I'm waiting on, nothing that I need to do other than me and taking that time and getting it done. So I will have a super secret book related, but not necessarily an actual book thing that is coming, and I will announce it on this channel. It was something I wanted to do for my readers back in 2019, and I finally got around to doing it, and then it kind of exploded. So it is now a much bigger venture than I originally intended, but it should be very, very cool. So you do want to watch out for that. I will probably have a separate video just to let you know about it, and it's gonna be so awesome, and I am so pumped about it. The next thing I have is I want to get a few videos saved. So this way I don't get into the situation where I do not have a video for this week. If you noticed, this is not my typical content. The reason it's not my typical content is because I'm working on this book and I do not have any videos saved. I usually try to stay relatively relevant, so I don't usually tape YouTube videos out too far. I might go a week, 2 weeks, something like that, because I want to make sure that I'm staying in with, what's relevant to me and what I'm talking about. However, I have learned that there's definitely some value in having a few videos that are ready to go and maybe not necessarily related to something more, that evergreen kind of content. So then that way I can put it up if I'm having a bad week or I'm busy, instead of risking not putting up a video at all. I was seriously at the point where I was considering not putting a video out today, and I was kind of okay with that just because I needed to get everything done. However, I knew I wanted to get this goals video out, and I know I want to get a vlog video out, so I didn't want to just do a video kind of haphazardly that wasn't going to have any value on Thursdays and then shoehorn like 3 videos into 2 days. So I thought this might be a better way to break it up because I don't have anything sitting there. However, hopefully in March I will have at least 1 video that I can have in case of emergency that I can put it up. So I'm trying to work through some evergreen content to find something that's going to be relevant and isn't going to be useless in 3 months if that's when I need to use it. So hopefully I will come up with something, and that will be great. The next goal that I have is to start writing my next Faraway High series project. So I said I started outlining it back in February, so obviously I'm going to need to finish the outlining, and then I do want to start writing it. My original goal for this was to be a lot further ahead in terms of the writing, and I did originally have a word goal set for this, but because this book that I'm trying to finish is taking so much longer, I decided to pull that word goal away, and that I just want to get it started and get kind of my feet wet on this project. And the more that I can get done, the better, obviously, because it's going to be less work for me in April, when I said it's going to be busier for me at work with my day job. But this way, it's not going to put a lot of pressure on me, especially coming off another book, and it'll allow me to take more of a break after this book before jumping into a new project, even though I'm really, really excited to do it. And the last goal is also something that I can't talk about, so I might be able to, and if you are watching my vlogs, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to put some of this vlog content in there. It's not going to require a lot from me, essentially just kind of some emails with some contractors that I'm working with, but I am involved in something that I think is going to be super duper exciting. It is book related, and I'm super duper pumped about it, but I don't know if I'm going to be at the point where I'm going to be able to talk about it yet, so I'm probably going to film that vlog content, and then if I get to use it, great, and if I don't, then I'll just have to announce it later. But I'm hoping that it's going to be something that I can talk about, because it would be a really, really cool thing. Plus, I would actually be able to do like a regular Thursday video on it as well, because it is something that I'm sure a lot of people in publishing would be interested to know about. So those are my goals for March. Like I said, I have a lot of goals for March, and I do think that I'm going to be able to hit them, because they are all stuff that I'm super duper passionate about, and I should be able to get into doing, and 2, they are all stuff that really I just need to take probably a day for a lot of them to just sit down, hammer out the details, and get them done. I'm hoping this is going to be a super duper productive month, and there are going to be some super duper cool things coming that you are not going to want to miss. So thank you so much for joining me this week. If you are not a subscriber to my channel and you would like to see how these March goals work out, make sure that you're hitting that subscription bar and the notification bell below this video. And if you did like this video, make sure you're giving it a thumbs up. If you wanted to check out more about my February, I am planning to have my vlog up this weekend, and then I will start my March vlog for April, so you'll be able to see that then. Thank you so much for joining me, and you guys have a lovely week.